Barrett Smith, Mike Guggino, playing Italian music today. What's your first song?
This is a Tarantella. You know, a lot of these songs don't have names. They're just Tarantella Napoletana or something because they don't have a name. And this is the first song on our record, Mia Dolce Farfalla, and it's a Tarantella from Naples.
It's WNCW, Mike Guggino and Barrett Smith on mandolin and guitars, and a Tarantella from Naples.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is a song, as you mentioned, leads off this new record, I should say. Congratulations on the record you guys put out this summer.
Thanks. Yeah, we had talked about making a record for a long time, and it just took a pandemic, I guess, and some free time to actually get it done.
Yeah. Is that really how it went? Like, well, we've got time, why not?
That's exactly how it went.
It is. I mean, I think that's how it went for a lot of artists, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are probably getting just flooded with new records from people, projects during COVID,
and little side projects. Or
yeah, I mean, here it is. You know,
yeah.
we're okay. The Steep Canyon Rangers are off the road now for a year, you know, mostly. And I said, Barrett, if we're ever going to make a record, now's the time. I mean, it's only 2 people, so COVID-wise, it felt safe enough for us to go in and just, you know, sit across from each other with masks on and, you know, play a show, record a CD, and that's what we did.
You worked with Seth Kaufman on this record, which he's really, really smart, isn't he, what he does?
Yeah.
Seth's a little wizard over there in Black Mountain.
Yeah.
Well, we're a wizard.
Big floating action fans. And really just anything Seth does, and he's a great guy. So working with him was a lot of fun.
How did you do the record? Like, was a lot of takes, or did you sit down and play it, or did you go back and?
We kind of just set up 2 chairs, kind of like what we're doing right now, except for separate mics. We're playing a 1 mic right here today at the studio, but we just sat across from each other with some microphones and just played the tunes, you know, down. And there's some overdubs because we put some extra guitar rhythm on parts where the guitar would take the lead, and I overdubbed a lot of harmony mandolin parts. There's 2 mandolins on almost everything on the record, at least 2 mandolins. Some of them have 3 and 4 parts, but yeah, I mean, we just cut it live, and that's why we wanted to work with Seth, because we knew he kind of just liked to have a real vibey live sound, you know, and that's what we wanted for this record.
So the record's called Mia Dolce Farfalla. Am I close?
See?
Yeah, I got it.
See, okay.
Molto bene.
Mostly, almost all traditional stuff. I guess there's one original tune on there, but
Yeah, the title track, Mia Dolce Farfalla, is an original piece that I wrote, and but everything else is traditional.
Yeah.
You know, and this project for sure for me, sometimes people play traditional music and want to change it and do something new with it, and we do want to do that too, but we really do want to preserve this music, and that's a big part of this project. Is there's not a lot of people in the world playing this music, and there's definitely not a lot of people recording this music. There's a lot of old recordings of the music that we have from the early 1900s, but there's not a lot of modern recordings of mandolin music like this.
How far back did these songs go?
I mean, a lot of it's 1800s is probably the oldest, I would say. The golden era of the mandolin was the late 1800s through like 1940. In that time period. So a lot of turn of the century. A lot of it was after 1900, before 1940.
So 120 years ago, though, someone was playing that song, or not that song, but most of these songs.
For sure. That
Just
song
the
that
same way we just heard them, right?
Yeah, and that song we just played is probably one of the older ones. That's more like, some guys in a village in Sicily or Naples in that case. Probably played that song, and it probably changed over the years.
Yeah.
And the version we heard was that song. The version we heard was an older gentleman playing it and posting it on YouTube from Naples.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's where I heard that, and
Yeah.
I was like, and I learned it from that, and showed Barrett, and he learned it, and we started playing it at the shows, and thought it'd be a good one to record.
That's something so cool about folk music, how it, it's not like this is how it's done, but it gets handed down and it slowly morphs or it stays true. I don't know, the music of the folk, of the people.
Yeah, we don't have a lot to go on here. There's just not a lot of recordings and a lot of people playing. I've never seen another act play music like this live, which is weird. As a musician, you go see your heroes play all the time.
Sure.
You play bluegrass, you go see your favorite, Sam Bush or whoever play, but there's not many people that only Carlo Onzo and Beppe Gambetta are the only people that I've seen play this music live.
Yeah, it's one of our favorite things about it, really. I mean, of all the traditional musics that you can get into, fill in the blanks, we just found one that actually needs a torch bearer of some sort, because it's really just kind of disappearing. This Italian string music is something you don't hear very much, and it's, right now we're some of the only people who are playing it and keeping it alive. So recording the album and kind of actually archiving it, and even being here in the studio today doing it, is like, it feels really good to us.
I wonder,
keep it
like,
going.
I know you've played some in Italy, and you play mostly in the States around here. Like, how do people respond? Do you get different responses from different audiences? How's that? Who you're reaching?
I mean, it's the music's really beautiful,
Yes.
right? And just the music itself, and really appealing. And I feel like people like it, and we haven't had the chance to actually take it back to Italy yet. We will. We will someday. It's really interesting. I mean, we say this all the time, but here in the United States, we had a folk revival, in the 60s, where things like country pickin' blues and blues and bluegrass and old time music, they suddenly became like pretty exciting for young people. All of a sudden you had all these young hippies and intellectuals showing up at these traditional festivals, and it became like in fashion. Well, in Italy, the Italians had this traditional music too, but it never happened. The folk revival never happened over there, and specifically because at that moment they all associated this old-timey music with like Mussolini and fascism and all these kind of dark things from their past. So you think, like, if we associated bluegrass with some of the dark things more strongly from our past, it just never would have taken. You don't want to think about it. And that's kind of what happened in Italy. And now here we, two Americans, come bumbling along, and we say, oh, my God, that music's beautiful. We love it. So it's going to be interesting to take it back to Italy and play it, with a lot of love and passion and with no negative associations in any way. And we're really excited about doing that and bringing it back. I mean, it's just music, and it's beautiful, and people should enjoy it. So we'll see how it goes.
That's cool. So the two bumbling Americans are Barrett Smith and Mike Guggino, and they're also really brilliant musicians. Quick plug, Mike mentioned members of the Steep Canyon Rangers, so you know their music, whether or not you've heard the Italian music before. And the Italian night, the newest Italian night, is happening Sunday up in Brevard Music Center at the Parker Concert Hall, and Beppe Gambetta will be, am I saying his name right? Gambetta?
That's it.
Yeah, we'll be playing guitar. He does some bluegrass stuff, though, doesn't he?
He's a great
Yeah.
bluegrass flat
Yeah,
picker.
Beppe won the
player.
Winfield Guitar Championship, flat picking guitar championship years ago, maybe in the early 2000s. Yeah, he's a great bluegrass player.
So we got the American bluegrass guys playing Italian music, and the Italian
It's a
guitar
total
player's going to come and play
mirror
bluegrass.
symmetry thing. It's true.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Music's fun, huh? Brings people together.
fun,
That's
yeah.
right. It's cool.